you better get you plenty of food. Silver's just about drying up. You had better get a bunch of food. Because when that spine hits that, when that belly hits that spine, and it's going to do it, and those children come to you looking for you to feed them, and you ain't got no answers but your ignorance, your chaotic ignorance that you refuse to actually see and open up your eyes to see what's really truly going on, there's going to be a weeping howl. And I wouldn't doubt if even some of your own family members would turn on. Have you ever really thought about what takes place, and have you seen what takes place whenever there is like let's say a blizzard getting ready to come? First thing that people do is run to the store and empty all the shelves. And then they get to fighting over a case of water, which, if they were listening to me some time ago, they should have already had food storage. These preachers. You're going to find yourself suffering. Have you noticed how our media has a total blackout as to how dire the consequences that we have facing us and staring us right in our face, right here today? You look at all the apocalyptic conditions in the world. 10,000 cows dying up in Ireland. Continues to keep playing out over and over again. And so investing in yourselves, like I've taught you over and over again, is the way to go. You can't continue to keep thinking that as you see the rug being pulled out from under our feet, that living in these population centers is the way to go. They're just simply not. You're going to have to learn how to live simple. Things are changing. Geographical location where you reside, where you live at right now. What would happen if you can no longer get up in the morning and assume that the grocery store doors are going to be open, that there's going to be product on the shelf? What would happen if that was taken away from you? All right, how would you fare if you lived in the area and the stores shut down? I mean, Walmart is amazing. Fine canned goods. Now, I have to simply bring the cans low up my desk and say, here, you want to see them? That's not going to stimulate your thoughts. It's not going to, if you have an apathetic spirit, if you're complacent, if you're just going to sit there and continue to think that things are going to get better and stuff, then you're going to view me as pessimistic, out of touch with what you call the world and the life. You know, we got people graduating college right now, and there's no jobs for them. Hey, get out of the city. Now, people say, well, why do you think get out of the city? Why just go back to the Bible right there? I am a living example of if you do not take heed, you're going to experience a lot of pain. And there is no pain like hunger. Have you ever cooked outside on a rocket stove? Do you know what a rocket stove is? I can go on and on and on and on and on. You see, if we continue to keep depending on the very system that has trained us and coerced us to be manipulated and to be mind-numbed, how do you think we're going to fare later on in life when we really truly see a situation hit us over here in the West? How to have independent thinking for our own selves. We trust in the system, and then somebody like me comes and warns us and tells us how dire the situation is and how bad the consequences are going to be and how many of you are going to starve. When your children come to you and say, Mommy and Daddy, I'm hungry, I need something to eat, and you have no choice but to tell them we have nothing to eat because I didn't prepare. The people that did not feel it in the Great Depression, I won't say it. Yes, I am. I'm going to say it. I want you to listen to me. Are the people who lived in the country, watch this, who had their own little small homestead, who knew how to grow a garden, produce their own food. They canned their own food. That was their grocery store. I really don't mean to be pessimistic. I try my best to be brutally honest and truthful. But again, I think you need to really, truly start storing up and doing the things that you need to do to get yourself ready for this coming economic collapse. And not only that, last and not least, I hope by now you have purchased your sword. And if you got that, you need also a whole bunch of ammo. Long. You've got to be able to see the writing on the wall and then make the proper adjustments. Now, I realize that most people can't see the writing on the wall. And so, you know, with the advent of YouTube and being able to get many voices out there, it's up to you to pick and choose who you're going to believe. I tell you to prepare yourself to get bullets, get guns, and anything you can because of the anarchy that's getting ready to take place here in America. The reason why that the news media, the president, and everybody else does not tell you this is because they don't want you, the peasants, the common folks, to rise up and riot right now before it collapses. I told you that. I was thinking today, if electricity go off here, we're still fine. Because we got wood stoves in almost every single home we do. Wood stoves. And we will still be able to stay warm. This cold weather is killing folks. But anyway, don't let me digress here. Let me stay the course here, okay? Nation listening to me some time ago, they should have already had food storage. They should have already had clean water stored in the home. It's not important though until catastrophe hits or chaos. You know, when you refuse to prepare, I think it's the heightened sense of selfishness because of your refusal to prepare. People are laughing, they're mocking, they're scorning, and they're jeering. Right now they are. People like us who prepare. We're called preppers, survivors, or whatever you want to call it. Call it what you may. Call it whatever you may. But we're not going to be the one person with those trucks stop running. I mean, it's setting up just like it did in World War I, just like it did in World War II, where, you know, we're going to experience inflation. We're going to experience commodities just literally going through the roof, but people are just going to barely be getting by. I'm talking about soup line, whether you like it or not. You really truly are going to need to learn how to hunt, to learn how to raise livestock. Because the way this economy and the way things going, I don't trust it. Besides all,
December 3rd, 2019.
Buy a little piece of land. Then while you're living okay right now, prepare your mind to learn how to downsize. Because what I see on the horizon is not looking good for us. I want to tell you what's getting ready to take place, not to scare you, but to tell you the truth. You see, the world as we know it here in the United States of America is getting ready to change. People like me who taught you how to prepare, who showed you how to prepare, showed you what moves to make and how to go about doing it, how to live this life, so that if the economy or the system does collapse, you'll still be able to function in it. Make sure that what you believe, that it's enough to prepare you for what's coming. Because you're going to find out. All of us are going to find out. If Pastor Dowell was telling us the truth, or if I was lying. And now all the people who are pessimistic against us, all of a sudden, you know what they're doing now? They're looking for the people because a thought will come up in their mind. Now wait a minute. Does this man or does this woman store food and stuff? They'll be knocking it. Show you what you need to do if you're very serious about preparing yourself, what you need to do. Now, I'm going to say a lot of things that you may not agree with, but the truth is you need to check them out. Have your Bible with you. See if I'm saying the obvious. Or the majority. Only the few that has the ears to hear. I can care less if people don't want to hear or not. If you do hear, and you can hear, and you are preparing, then you are not something wrong with it. No. My mind is if you don't store food, you are a nutcase. If you don't prepare, you are psychotically insane. Do you have 6 months of food stored in your house just in case you can't go to the store? You don't want to go and deal with all these mobs and chaos and stuff. I'm telling you, you need at least 20 gallons of good clean water stored in your home. And it was probably, a couple of months ago, I said, now you need 40. You need 40 good gallons of good clean water. And you see, just in case you didn't know, we are in the end times. Now, some people talk about the end times and they do nothing about it. Other people talk about the end times and then they prepare their house because of the times. Like that, when we have the economy collapsing around us, so we need to really prepare our hearts and minds and get the people out there ready to prepare for what's coming. You know, this upcoming economic collapse. I start out with the depression. And the people who are trying to tell you to prepare, I know that you've already got in your mind crackpot troops and everything else. Well, let me ask you this. What about the government? One move to prepare, and now we're standing in the door of an economic collapse. We're standing in the door of what commodity and food prices are going to for a while. Do you have food? Do you have clean water? Do you have filters? I mean, are you prepared? Better, but it's not. A wise man foresees the evil that is coming, and you know what he does? He prepares his house.
Really, really rolling and gaining steam here right now. The storm clouds are gathering, and they're gathering fast, and they're gathering hard.
To grow up real fast, and you know, which it's a sad thing what they're doing to our society, but yeah, we've actually bought it. So, yeah, getting back to simple living is the way that it should be. To get yourself and your family members ready for the worst. Prepare and get a survivalist and a prepper's mindset. All right? Take heed. You know, you've had people tell you, you better get ready, better get prepared. Some of you heard this and you feeling the pain right now. You know what? Now the guilt, the shame, and the condemnation of it is weighing heavily on you.
And most of you are going to die because you have not prepared.
Listen to me. And believe me, there's still a little bit of time left. But those of you who decided to listen to me some years ago, and you started making moves in order to preserve moves, the moves that are necessary in order to preserve yourself. Has it done for you to even listen to me? You see, if you listen to something, or if you do anything, you don't take any action, how can you expect to advance?
Martial law is going to be declared for a while, but it's not going to last because the police and all the other law enforcement officials are going to find out that their family is going to be in danger. And many of you have not followed these biblical principles. That's the reason why we're snared right now and we are enslaved to this system.
You're trying to start changing your mind because it's getting ready to look really grim. I told you, America is going to be a third world.
Against ourselves. And we need to do something to preserve and protect ourselves from this coming economic collapse.
Food, clothing, shelter, good clean water, and then you need to invest. Become a doer, and you start checking behind the things that I'm saying. You're going to find out that I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the reason why it continues to keep going up through the roof, huh? Did not Pastor Dowell tell you? Did I not tell you? Because you got just a very short period of time now to be prepared. If you can even prepare money.
Many of us are not prepared. Many of us don't even have a clue or an idea of what's taking place or what's going on.
Because faith without works is dead. That's the reason why many people's word doesn't mean anything.
A wise man foreseeth the evil day, and he prepares his house for that.
Okay, there's going to be some people that die from this thing simply because they're not prepared like you. What are you doing? Have you really truly taken my advice?